Jamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamunatiravanachari Jamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ke, Bhagavad Gita as it is ke. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're reading Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text number 20. Huh? Correct? 20. Yeah. I thought I heard somebody say no. Maybe they're talking about the colors of flowers, I'm not sure. Sarva-bhūteṣu yenaikaṁ bhāvam avyayam īkṣate avibhaktaṁ vibhakteṣu jñānaṁ viddhi sāttvikam sarva-bhūteṣu yenaikaṁ bhāvam avyayam īkṣate avibhaktam vibhakteṣu jñānaṁ viddhi sāttvikam sarva-bhūteṣu yenaikaṁ bhāvam avyayam īkṣate avibhaktam vibhakteṣu jñānaṁ viddhi sāttvikam. Matajis? Sarva-bhūteṣu, in all living entities. Yena, by ekam, one. Bhāvam, situated. Avyayam, imperishable. īkṣate, one sees. Avibhaktam, undivided. Vibhakteṣu, in the numberless divided. Tat, that. Jñānam, knowledge. Viddhi, know. Sāttvikam, in the mode of goodness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. That knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness. You picked the hard one here, huh? Okay. Let's see if we can all repeat together. that knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms. You should understand to be in the mode of goodness. Srila Prabhupada's purport. A person who sees one spirit soul in every living being, whether a demigod, human being, animal, bird, beast, aquatic, or plant, possesses knowledge in the mode of goodness. In all living entities, one spirit soul is there, although they have different bodies in terms of their previous work. As described in the 7th chapter, the manifestation of the living force in every body is due to the superior nature of the Supreme Lord. Thus, to see that one superior nature, that living force in every body, is to see in the mode of goodness. That living energy is imperishable, although the bodies are perishable. Differences are perceived in terms of the body because there are many forms of material existence in conditional life. The living force appears to be divided. Such impersonal knowledge is an aspect of self-realization. Om jnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam jena tasmai shri guruve namaha Shri Chaitanya manobhistang stapitang jena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swa padantikam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. So we're very fortunate to hear from Krishna, Supreme Lord himself. Although it says that the Gita was complete in 17 chapters, this 18th chapter is like a summary of all the previous chapters. But the ultimate conclusion of understanding so much detail of what are the qualities of the mode of goodness, what are the qualities of the mode of passion and ignorance. Those in goodness are peaceful and knowledgeable, tolerant, clean, truthful. Those who are passionate are motivated. Their God is money. Money is God. And they're very attached to the results of their activities and their work. Just like when most of us first came to Krishna consciousness, at least in Miami, the idea was that Prabhupada is happy by distributing books, because by distributing this transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is a way of penetrating the darkness of ignorance in people's minds and hearts so they can have proper guidance. What to do and what not to do. What is the law of God? What is scripture? What is to be followed and what is to be avoided? Unfortunately, people are very much misled. But the book distribution was a great source of working for Krishna without expectation of some monetary reward. Because everyone in this world, whether servant, master, everyone's calculating what's in it for me. I'm not going to work for you unless there's some remuneration. Once you stop paying me, I'm gone. I'm out of here. You know, this is the mood, because people are simply interested in sense gratification, how to satisfy their mind, their dreams and wishes, and also their bodily demands, isn't it? We want to make all kinds of arrangements to have money in the bank so we can have a nice house, nice wife, nice children, nice car, and all the toys which are available with the money, so that we can feel happy that this is, I've done something with my life, I've accomplished something. But this is still on the bodily platform. We see all around the world people are fighting with one another because of the color of the skin or the religion or culture that they're following, and sometimes for no good reason whatsoever because the politicians have gone mad and crazy. And we're all kind of caught up in our caught them in a dive in a train. Now, we don't understand how is it that a whole nation can be forced to suffer because of the acts of a few people. But this is a material world. All kinds of suffering, even in the heavenly planets, in the hellish planets, and on these earthly planets, people are struggling and suffering because we're all thinking that we're number one. Everybody's lobbying and jockeying how to get ahead of everyone else. We see that, if there's a line, people want to cut the line, or they have no care for other people's needs or wants. They're looking out for number one, me. But this is, although there might be some minor satisfaction in the mode of passion, boy meets girl, girl meets boy, we think, there'll be some enjoyment there, some happiness, and it may last for a few moments, but then it turns into something different, because then there's always conflict and divorce, and ultimately we all have to fly our own airplane. We're born in this world with nothing, and we're forced to leave. Everyone is forced to die individually, leaving this world behind. So Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is giving us guidance and direction. And by the mercy of the great acharyas, the Guru Parampara, we're not just simply thinking, oh yeah, Gita's nice philosophy. Okay, now what are we doing today? Where are we going? What time's the cricket game? Or what time are we going to have some fun? Fun is okay. Sometimes the interviewers ask Prabhupada, well, how does your society, make money? He says, Krishna provides, Krishna gives. They get a little bit bewildered. What do you mean Krishna gives? But devotees say, no, we work also. We go out in book distribution, and we're preaching. And Prabhupada, who is 75, 80 years old, he works harder than anyone. So it's not a question of being lazy or not doing anything. We're doing so many things, but the result we want to give to Krishna. We want to give, we're just working as a matter of duty and sacrifice, because we know that Krishna is the most beautiful personality, and everyone's looking for beauty. And he's the strongest personality, and everyone's amazed by great power and great strength. That's why everyone was obeying different, powerful leaders. They like to have someone who's beautiful, strong, very renounced, and very wealthy. Isn't it? Someone who's very, very wealthy. Oh, Rockefeller, Ford, or Birla. Isn't it that they're impressed by these things? So we have knowledge, beauty, wealth, renunciation. What are the other ones? We have so many opulence of the Supreme Lord. And Krishna possesses everything in full. So we have to come to the conclusion, the ultimate, we can study philosophically the intricacies of the modes of nature, how the mode of goodness affects us, how the mode of passion affects us, lust, anger, greed, ignorance, people who are lazy, envious, jealous, and destructive mentally and destructive towards other people. So, prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankaram mudatma kartahamiti manyate. The bewildered spirit soul thinks himself the doer of activities which are being carried out by the three modes of material nature. So Krishna's instructing Arjuna, get above the modes of nature. Krishna's never affected by the modes of nature because he's the creator of this material universe. Maya yakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. That this material nature is working under my direction. So all of us are bound by actions and reactions. Not only us, everyone, whether the animal's human life is the process by which one can either elevate himself or degrade himself. Because once you're in a animal body, you have to just carry out your karma until you're fortunate enough to take birth from a human mother and father, where you actually have intelligence and you can inquire, who am I? Who is God, if there is a God? And what is the purpose of life? How do I achieve that status where I can become free from being forced to grow old, being forced to get diseased, and everyone is forced to die. And what happens after you die? Again, you're packed in the womb. You can't get away from it. You think, well, I don't want to hear this philosophy. I just want to live my life. You know, I can study some books on poetry or philosophy, become humanitarian, help the animals. So many dogs are suffering, and so many animals are suffering. We can have different campaigns to help the animals, help the environment. We can do so many auspicious and beneficial activities which people can appreciate that, oh, he's a good person. But it's like, you know, trying to put water on the leaf, put some water on the branch, put some water on the fruit. But if we take the water and put it on the root of the tree, then everything is automatically nourished. So when Prabhupada is asked by interviewers, well, what does your society do for people in general? You know, how do we participate? You've copped out of society and you're just living a renounced or a life which is not in all, you know, you're not doctors or engineers or ditch diggers or, you know, sanitary department picking up the garbage. A devotee can do anything. He can be a doctor, he can be an engineer, he can be also any kind of work, working at the office. Prabhupada considers that one who is Krishna conscious and performs his duty even though it's difficult, giving the results of his efforts for the pushing on of Krishna consciousness, is also a liberated soul. When Brahmananda, Satsarup Maharaj and others in the early days, oh, we just want to stay in the temple, Prabhupada. We just want to chant and be with the devotees and hear the philosophy and take prasad together. Prabhupada said, that's good, very nice, but do your duty, do your work, and give the results to Krishna. So we should not see it on a mundane platform. Every day we would go out on Sankirtan, book distribution, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, for many years. And people would be astonished, how is it these people are so happy or bright-faced and enthusiastic and determined to carry out this work of distributing books, and they don't even keep any of the money. We don't get a sales commission or, you know, thinking, oh, today I made $200 or $500, you know, lucky me. No, it's all for Krishna. Because Krishna, what is that verse? Bhoktarang jagatapasang sarva-loka maheshwarang suhridang sarabhutanam gyatmamang shamting richyate. That he's the proprietor of everything. Everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. And he's actually the beneficiary of all activities. He's a friend of everyone. Krishna's so kind. He's in the heart of all of us. And he's giving us knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness according to our desires. So human life is a chance to awaken again our spiritual desires. Just like this sweater or jacket has a form because my body has a form. So we have a spiritual body. We have a transcendental body. We may think, well, what if it's something different than a human body, you know, because in the spiritual world, all living entities are alive and active. That's okay. Krishna will reveal. So in the spiritual world, there's love, there's exchange, there's, family, there's all kinds of activities which are not easy for us to understand, because everything in this world, although there is some happiness in having family. I have 2 children, 2 grandchildren. It's always enjoyable to see them, and your son is here visiting you. My son was here visiting last month, and so these are pleasurable. But they're ultimately pleasurable if we can be Krishna conscious together, because that family will last. Because on a Krishna conscious platform, there's real oneness. Isn't it? They say if you throw a rock in a pond, then all the rings, they go symmetrically. They just keep going nice. But if a few different rocks are thrown, then there's all kinds of circles colliding with one another. So in the material world, people they're not seeing Krishna in the center, they're seeing themselves in the center. So there's a collision. Everybody is being frustrated. Although we may say, I'm in the mode of goodness, I like poetry, I like to live in a shanti atmosphere, I read many books of philosophy, and I do good work for other people. But the real knowledge and understanding of the absolute truth comes from God. Vedaischa sarvar aham eva vedya. Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. Veda means knowledge. Everyone is looking for guidance and knowledge. We're looking at so many philosophers, Thoreau, Emerson, this one, that one. Sometimes they follow Lenin, they follow Hitler, they follow. So many books are there, people's ideas, speculative ideas of how to form society in such a way for peace and harmony. But despite League of Nations, United Nations, there's more and more flags developing and more people wanting to have different, everything's so much different. But in Krishna consciousness, we're all together chanting Krishna's holy name from early in the morning, thinking of how to serve the deities. The deity is the Lord personally come for us who cannot see and understand. People say, have you seen God? First of all, you have to become qualified to see God. How, do you know what is a God-conscious person? If I say to you, do you have diamonds? Well, you have to know what a diamond is before you can ask about the diamond, because I could give you any kind of cheap piece of plastic. This is diamond. Okay, I'll pay you. So we don't need to be cheated by bogus teachers or persons who are not following the system, sadhu, shastra, guru. That means the person has to be behaving properly. He's like Arjuna said when Krishna, he was having the revelation, parang brahma, parang dhamma, pavitrang paramang bhavam, purusham shashvatam divyam, adi dev majam vibhum. You're the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Absolute Truth, the ultimate purifier. I'm not claiming this, but all the great acharyas are claiming. Vyasadeva, Sita, Devala, just to name a few of the great acharyas. So the process, it may be elaborate or very detailed and may seem a little bit difficult to understand, all this, oneness, mode of goodness, pure, seeing the Lord in everyone's heart. It takes some thought and some effort. But what is the conclusion? Man manabhava madbhakto madhyaji mang namaskuru mam evasisi satyate pratijane priyosime. Think of me, not me, but Krishna. Krishna speaking. Krishna says, think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your prayers and homage to me, serve me. Thus you'll come to me without fail. I promise you this, because you're my very dear friend. So Krishna can be our best friend. He is our best friend. But somehow or other we've forgotten Krishna. We forgot Krishna, we forgot our eternal existence, and we're wandering in this material world of repeated birth and death. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. We want to plant or reawaken that seed of devotion. We're all eternal spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna, and we're confused by the body and the mind and the dictates of the mind to satisfy the body, and how to look for happiness in the desert of material life. There's no water in the desert, but there's an illusion. It appears, not everything that glitters is gold. There appears that if I make money, and if I can actually, manipulate the material energy so that myself and my friends and my surrounding, we can all be happy. But this is an illusion, because everything is taken away. Even if you have that wealth, it's fleeting. What's Lakshmi called? Chanchala, yeah? Because she's always going. Today you're wealthy. Stock market crashes. You're a pauper on the street. Isn't it? And it's an illusion, thinking, oh, that famous movie star or that football player or cricket player, they have millions and millions of dollars. They have houses, so many beautiful houses, a mansion. You think they're any happy? They're any more in anxiety. I often told the story of Ambarish, Alfred Ford. We all know, multi-millionaire. He told me his family members were having difficulty with alcohol because of, when you have so much and you're expecting to be happy. I mean, we actually worked together for a little bit, and I was giving him a paycheck, but only because he wanted to have the camaraderie or the association of the devotees. So the wealth of this material world is only temporary. Imagine Prabhupada. He could have been very, very wealthy in the chemical industry and working for big, but Prabhupada, when he renounced the whole idea of trying to make wealth so that he, even for Krishna consciousness, he was practically penniless, just depending on Krishna, and still working hard to publish Srimad Bhagavatam. And in his heart, he was always hearing the message of his spiritual master that you're intelligent, young boys, you should spread the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. Prite vite yacha yadi nagaradi gram sarvatra prachare hoibe moranam. So this instruction by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati that we should preach Krishna consciousness is in order to Srila Prabhupada, it's in order to everyone. Bharata bhumite hoila manusha janmajar janma sartaka korikara parupakar. Means that one who's born, especially in Bharatvarsh, is considered very pious and very fortunate. But this para upakar, that we have to do humanitarian activities by spreading Krishna consciousness, because this is the solution to all problems. That by one who's convinced that I just want to dedicate my whole life to my spiritual master and follow his instructions. Not that, I have my guru, I know Gita, I'm okay now, I got my initiation. But initiation means the beginning, that once we become initiated and we're following rules and regulations, the instruction given by Prabhupada and all the great acharyas is study Bhagavad Gita, study Srimad Bhagavatam, live in the association of devotees, chant the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada says our business is chanting the mantra, chanting Krishna's name, because Krishna is present in his sound vibration. And all the philosophical, scriptural teachings are ultimately to convince us with resolute determination. Was that verse? Vyavasayatmaka buddhir ekeha kuru nandana bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayanam. Ekeha kuru nandana. That devotee is resolute in his determination. He's very clear that my purpose of existence in this body, this is a machine. The body is a machine. What is a vehicle meant to do? Take us from point A to point B. Like, I have a machine, like a bullet, an Enfield motorcycle. Its purpose is to take me from here to the mountains. So, it has a purpose. So this body is actually meant to be utilized to awaken our original God consciousness. And the way to do that is by being fortunate enough to get Guru Krishna Prasadipai Bhakti Lata Bij, that one has some faith, just because of innocence. We might feel that we heard Prabhupada is delivering the message of Godhead. We begin reading the Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. We're all born in ignorance. We're all born in darkness. And there's no way out of the ignorance unless the spiritual master opens our eyes with the torch of knowledge. Because by reading so many books, or by performing sacrifices and religious rituals and different obligatory duties for family, and so many ceremonies are required for birth ceremony, garbhodan sanskara, marriage ceremony. The child has to have his ceremony for the grain ceremony, and even after the father passes away, or there's a performance of the children. So all these duties and obligations are automatically taken care of by serving Krishna, by serving the spiritual master in Krishna consciousness. And when there's a heavy fog, or it's very difficult to see, when the sun rises and it dissipates the fog, then you can very, very clearly see what's ahead. We can very clearly nothing worse than being like blind. A blind person leading other blind people is no benefit, because they're all going to fall into the ditch and they're all going to die. So you need to actually be guided by someone who has seen the truth. Tadviri pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jñānam jñānas tattvadarshana. We surrender to the spiritual master. We inquire submissively. We render service So it's a whole process. It's not some cheap thing that you turn the switch, okay, I'm enlightened. Yes, very instantly Krishna can enlighten, but also one has to perform some austerity. Like sannyas means dedicating body, mind, and words to serving Krishna and becoming fearless. Krishna's protecting me. Krishna's providing. And when we have that kind of reassurance, even on airplanes, sometimes there's turbulence and people are screaming, and maybe all the luggage compartments are opening, the plane's going up and down. Prabhupada would just be chanting, understanding that I'm in Krishna's hands. Krishna's taking care. Krishna's protecting us. And you say, oh, but sometimes we see devotees die, they have accidents. Krishna's protecting. Krishna's taking care. Because once one somehow feels that kind of protection from Krishna, he becomes very enthusiastic. Utsahan nishchayat daryat tat karma pravartana. Enthusiasm, determination, and patience. We need patience, because many times people are become impatient. They want to see immediate results, isn't it? You want immediate, that's what the modern world's all about. Faster phones, faster internet, faster computers, more and more. They think that by technology and by modern civilization, by big skyscrapers, I live on the 100th floor. Take the elevator. Power goes off, you're stuck in the elevator. So there's no, what kind of happiness is that? It's all flickering happiness. I lived on Miami Beach. We had Govinda Vaikuntha building right in the ocean. So every morning, when it comes time for greeting the deities, you hear the conch shell and the sun is coming out of the ocean. We can see it every day, coming. And you could do your japa along the beach shore. At night, you hear the waves coming in. You think, I'm in paradise, I'm in heaven. But it's all, yes, there is some happiness. It's a reflection of the spiritual world. It's giving you a little glimpse. So don't get lost in the temporal happiness or go chasing after the water in the desert, but take shelter of Krishna in the form of performing your duty very nicely. And whatever service we can do, hearing Bhagavad Gita is service. We see so many of the Matajis every day coming and picking varieties of flowers in their mind. You can see they're thinking how to combine the colors, the different flowers for Krishna's pleasure. This is nice. This is done outside, but you can see how intricate the flower arrangements are. So that takes a little bit of, brain, intelligence, desire to do something nice. It's amazing how the pujaris can put all the clothing on and the different colors of the tilak and dots, and when the curtain opens, you think, my God, how beautiful, how much endeavor was behind that. And it's all for Krishna's pleasure. Krishna's not some person who does not appreciate one's surrender, or somebody who just neglectful. You think, I'm a low person. How is Krishna going to appreciate my chanting His holy name, or I cook some offering to offer to the Lord? That's what it's really all about. Recognizing that I've been given this vehicle, this machine by Mother Nature under Krishna's direction. Krishna's empowering Mother Nature according to our past activities, our past desires, and our karma, that this person needs to go in the womb of this mother and he'll have this type of body. And be fortunate enough, imagine that as a human being, to be on this planet Earth at a time when Srila Prabhupada or just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva just came, the 6 Goswamis, who are fabulously wealthy and big ministers. They renounced everything to scrutinizingly study the Vedic literature, which is the handbook, the guidebook, the map, to go back to the spiritual world. And then just a very short time, 500 years is nothing. What to speak of Bhaktivinoda Thakur just 100-some years ago, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And then Prabhupada taking all the great acharyas' commentaries and translations on Srimad Bhagavatam, Sridhar Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, so many beautiful translations. And even though he said, I'm not a Sanskrit scholar or he never considered himself great, although all his godbrothers called him Kavi, great poet, because even the very beautiful poetry that he wrote on the disappearance, or on the Vyasa Puja of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, was full of, laden with feeling and also revelation of the mission of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that whatever Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, that whatever Bhaktivedanta prints, you publish it, because he's expert. So we can see that when Prabhupada started translating Srimad Bhagavatam, then he met the prime minister, the president, the big affluent persons, then Sumati Murarji, although a pauper, so to speak, a very poor person, a sadhu in Vrindavan without even a paisa. Somehow or other, Krishna made all the arrangements. He met someone that provided sponsorship from America. He only knew Gopal's father for a few minutes, practically. He said, well, maybe you should have your son Gopal sponsor me. And the father was very dedicated to that, so he'd always have his son make all the necessary forms to sponsor, but nobody ever went. So Gopal, he went to the bank and they checked his bank account and he submitted all the forms. And unknowingly, Prabhupada gets a message from the government, okay, your sanction or your sponsorship has arrived. And so and then the Scindia Steamship Company, they all helped him with his passport and visa for America. And it's just all of a sudden Krishna's making all these incredible arrangements. He gets sponsorship for Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3 of the first canto. Now he's equipped with books, knowledge of the Vedic literature, and everything is so beautifully put in the first 2 cantos of Bhagavatam. Everything is wonderful. I'm not saying that one is better than another, but it's just packed with realization. So Prabhupada felt fully confident that I'm taking the order of my spiritual master, although it was hard to get his P form. You know, there's a clearance from the banks and that you're not a debtor, and somehow there was a lot of bureaucracy, but the one person kept not giving him permission to go for some reason. He said, no, you're being sponsored by an individual. If it was a corporate sponsoring, and Prabhupada said, no, you can't do this. Take me to your supervisor. And then the supervisor said, don't worry, Swamiji, I approved your approval. So here's Prabhupada, practically no one to see him off, and he gets aboard this Jaladuta with the trunks where the cargo department will bring to America, and coming to a foreign place where people are not interested in following rules and regulations, and they're only interested in money and sense gratification, still going on all over the world. And Prabhupada somehow or other planted the seeds of bhakti in the hearts of so many who slowly took up this process of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes people say, well, other religions have hundreds of thousands, millions of people, but you only have a few. He said, and most people don't go to a diamond shop to purchase something very, very valuable. They want something cheap. And so many yogis and swamis came to the West. Give me $35 and I'll give you a mantra. You can do whatever you want, no rules and regulations, and you'll become a better person. So everyone, yes, I feel good. I have a guru, I have a mantra, I paid money, it'll be okay. Some impersonal book and some impersonal philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is very personal. Prabhupada was very clear. Not that, after some time he said, I have homes, 100 homes all over the world, but I never can stay. I'm just traveling and preaching. Why would Prabhupada just take on the sacrifice to preach this message of Godhead unless he had real love and compassion and feeling of duty? My spiritual master ordered it. I must do it. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered it. He is the Lord of Kali Yuga. Krishna Chaitanya's Krishna and Balaram came in the form of Nitai and Gaur to give us mercy and blessings, calling to all the sleeping people, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? So Maya has a task. She's a servant of Krishna, not that she's evil or cruel, but because we want to forget Krishna, she empowers us to forget Krishna so we can live our dream life, that this is my family. These are my people. Those people will fight and kill them, but these are my people. Those people are not my people. They're different people. We're not seeing the oneness that spirit soul, part of Krishna, is the same in every living entity, the dog, the monkeys that steal your fruit and glasses, the different, all life is composed of a spirit soul. And so one who becomes or is making some advancement, he sees that Krishna is in everyone's heart, and every spirit soul is a servant of Krishna. I'm a servant of Krishna. Everyone is a servant of Krishna. We're all brothers and sisters meant to serve Krishna. So let us take up this process of spreading Krishna consciousness. This is the mood of the Goswamis. six Goswamis were scrutinizingly studying all the Vedic literatures and, how you say, making them suitable for our understanding. Because every culture is different. Prabhupada first came to America, he analyzed the setting. There's so many churches, that's good, people are pious. And when he had small gatherings, they would ask nice questions. So Prabhupada very quickly understood how to proceed further and further in spreading Krishna consciousness. I just amazed how Prabhupada, after struggling for it appeared, Prabhupada's Kunti, Mother Kunti, and Pandavas were struggling. So much struggle. Prahlad Maharaj, his father tried to kill him in every which way. So we can see that, well, I sometimes question, well, why was Krishna allow his mother and father to be imprisoned and so much suffering? But the devotee is suffering not in the same capacity, because he's always thinking and appreciating Krishna, that Krishna's there to protect me. Somehow or other, by Krishna's grace, I'm getting some token reaction, but Krishna will protect me and guide me. So we're all with gratitude for Prabhupada for giving us an opportunity to hear Bhagavad Gita, give us an opportunity, which is rare, very rare, to perform devotional service. By being in Braj and Vrindavan, and by participating in seeing the deity, hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, this is devotional service, is burning away all the desires which are keeping us locked up in this material world. And it's like having a key to the handcuffs and ankle chains, and getting real liberation, real freedom. And just be tolerant and be confident that what we have here is the supreme truth, the highest truth. Everyone says that, but who has Bhagavatam? Who has Chaitanya Charitamrita? Who has Bhagavad Gita? And just reading the pages of these transcendental literatures, just amazing. Anyone with common sense and a little bit of intelligence can appreciate that this is God, this is Krishna. Might not be easy to control the mind, it's not easy to control the senses. No one said it's going to be easy, but if you want to accomplish something great, you have to perform sacrifice, isn't it? People sacrifice their whole lives to achieve something which is temporary in the world. So we should sacrifice all our time, all our energy for taking up Krishna consciousness, so we can actually achieve that eternal home in the spiritual world. Go back home, back to Godhead. Be with Prabhupada, cowherd boys, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, gopis. So much beautiful love and beauty is there. We have to just stay dedicated to this Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada ki. A few minutes if anyone has a question or comment. Yes, sir. So, if you give charity, you're saying if you give charity, how do we know it's going in the right hands? Well, I mean, the best charity is to give to Krishna, to be used in Krishna consciousness, and we do humanitarian works, to help, like we're doing in Barsana, the cleaning of the kunds. So, we're trying to participate in. But it's all related to Krishna. And when people like when we have Sankirtan devotees, people say, how do I know this money is going to go for the cause, your cause? Because most people in the material world are cheaters, and they lie, and they exploit others, and utilize what's meant to be for a good purpose for their own nefarious ideas. But if someone gives to Krishna conscious devotees with the intention this is going for Krishna, he gets the benefit. Now if the person who's a representative doesn't utilize it by giving it to Krishna, or utilize that's his discrimination, or that's his way of actually losing the opportunity to fully surrender to Krishna. So Krishna's guiding us, and we should just sincerely try to do what Prabhupada is, instructed us to do, which is always chant the Lord's name, always hear the Vedic literature, live in the association of devotees, worship Tulsi Devi, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and live in the holy place, Sri Vrindavan Dham. That's a very good question. People can sometimes be misled as to where the money is going, or where our energy for the cause, if it's utilized properly. Yes, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So it would be. At times we have organized where devotees can assist in cleaning projects, which is also beneficial. But it's not that we're simply putting all our energy dedicated to humanitarian work, but the Jamuna is transcendental. Obviously, if any way we can assist, and just like we're doing the Barsana cleaning of the kunds and reestablishing some of the holy places, so if there's anything that we can do, we should do in order to help clean the Jamuna, that would be ideal, without doubt. And we're right now working on cleaning our Jamuna, our hearts, by the process. See, that the whole thing is, by watering the root, all the branches, twigs, leaves, and flowers are nourished. So, by following this process of bhakti, devotional service, we'll get the inspiration and the intelligence how to do other humanitarian work, but not be simply doing humanitarian work like we do prasad distribution. Even during wartime, during COVID time, we were distributing prasadam, very nice. And if we can assist in cleaning the Jamuna, we should do that, no problem. So it's all inclusive. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.